What up, what's good? Welcome back to the Legacy Lounge. I got my man Justen Worrels in the building. Number one supporter of Legacy Lounge since we literally started. So I want to thank you for that. I want to encourage everybody before we start. It's going to be a fire episode. Please, please, please like, love, share, subscribe. Legacy Lounge. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We everywhere, man. We everywhere. Y'all ain't never there. So get there. Don't beat us there, meet us there, or whatever that cliche is. I don't know. Free Saul Lee. But like, subscribe, share, turn us up. We can keep going. My man, Justen Worrels.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to thank you. When I say number one supporter, that's not tongue-in-cheek. From day one, it's been you. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
I wanted to give the people a little segue before we start. So Worrels is my guy. And when I say my guy, you don't see us hanging out. We don't kick it or anything like that. But I'm invested personally into your journey. And we have real live conversations. You call for advice. I'm here for you. And, you know, I like to pick your brain as well. So this is only right. And we could have had you on day one because you was ready.
Oh, yeah.
I think growing our viewership and our followers, because I really want to get this story out. By the time this airs, we're going to have the right audience to because we're going to impact lives with this, bro.
Yes, sir.
So thank you again, and
No
let's turn it up, man.
Yes, sir.
I just want you to introduce yourself, bro, to those who don't know you.
Justen Worrels, dad, father, fiance, son, and friend.
Yeah, and good dude. When we used to talk about how to get waves.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
You remember that?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, we used to share tips on how to get waves, man. Me and Worrels go way back. I say I'm invested into your personal journey.
Okay.
First of all, you North End Worrels.
Facts.
So
Facts.
I wasn't in North End, but my people was in the North End. Mr. Peanut, who we will get into, was your grandfather. My mom used to work for Mr. Peanut. Mr. Peanut helped us out a lot.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of family connections there, man. I know your family well.
Okay.
But when I say I'm invested in you and your journey, I see you right now shining. I've also seen you at your worst. So recovering addict, you know, how long have you been clean?
I've been clean 2 years, and a lifetime to go. I got a lot going on, working 2 jobs, just had twins. Shout out to Jordan and Justin Jr. Shout out to my fiance, Christian. Shout out to my son, Brett. I love y'all.
And we definitely going to get into the family as well. We ain't going, you know, that's a part of your journey. And that's what draws me to you is, you know, be not just, but seeing you being a dad and everything like that. So first of all, bro, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I know I've told you this, bro, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because seeing you how I seen you broke my heart because I know the person. And I know you was just fighting demons. You know, for those who don't know, just a brief run through your bout, you know, with drugs and, you know, and the process of you getting clean.
Okay. So I was an addict for 10 plus years. Heroin was my drug of choice. I really did everything that I could get my hands on. You know, staying in abandoned houses, just down bad, you know, just doing anything I can, begging, standing in front of the store, asking for money, you know, just compromising my integrity.
So the best of your knowledge, how did it start?
Just trying things. In high school, you know, just trying to be cool, trying things, experimenting, you know, it's not like I was seeking it.
Right.
You know, it was just around.
All right, let me back up a little bit because I know a big moment in your life, a big part of your life is when you lost Bubba. Anybody that knows you seen Bubba. That's cousins, but more like brothers for sure.
Absolutely.
Were you using prior to Bubba's death?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
Okay.
And honestly, I think I start using around when a good friend of mine passed away, and everybody knows him, L.A.
Okay.
And, you know, it hurt the city. And we grew up together. We're from Lincoln Avenue. You know, that's where I met Ryan. And, you know, it was hard to deal with. I had never experienced death before. And, you know, it was somebody close to me. And it was just real hard for me. And that's when I started experimenting, to be honest with you.
When you say experiment, you mean with heroin?
First it started with Percocet, pills. You know, heroin didn't come till later on down the line. It was pills. You know, sooner or later the pills wasn't doing what they needed to be doing, and that's when I started experimenting with heroin.
So you and I had a conversation. That's about 2 weeks ago. You know, we talk about a lot of things, but we weren't particularly talking about you, but we were talking about pills and exactly what you said, what they lead to. So from me, never experiencing it, from the outside looking in, this is my take, and I want you to tell me if it's right or not.
Okay.
So people become addicted to the pills, correct?
Correct. Dependent, for sure.
Your body becomes physically dependent on the pills.
For sure.
Then if you can't get the pills, your body needs that high.
You get sick.
You get dope sick.
Absolutely.
Easier to get heroin.
Cheaper.
Cheaper. Okay. More available, or just cheaper is the main thing?
Cheaper.
But it gives your body what you need.
It gives your body what you need. Absolutely.
And then that's when the vicious cycle begins.
Absolutely. That's when the chasing begins. And, you know, and after a while, you know, sniffing, that didn't work out. And then I started injecting. And once you go there, it's like pretty much rock bottom.
Were you orally taking the pills, the Percocets, or you were sniffing them?
Off the rip.
Straight up?
Straight up sniffing them, off the rip. And, you know, because I was always told, like, this is how you get the most out of them. So, you know, why play around? I got straight to it.
Was trying to get the high.
Absolutely.
How long until you went from the perks to the heroin? Like, how long until you using perks?
Not soon after, because what happened was all the pills got jailed up, which means a time release. You know, they weren't like, they wouldn't hit you right then and there, see. So when all the pills got messed up and everything that was going on, it got real hard to find. So, and I had swore to myself I would never mess around with heroin. But like you just said, when your body needs it, your body needs it, or you'll be in bad shape.
And you don't want people to know that you're in bad shape, right?
No. You know, and that's what I wouldn't go around people. And I started hiding, staying in the house, you know, and just basically all about drugs.
Just chasing that high.
Chasing that high, see.
So you said once you injected, rock bottom.
It's over with.
When did you realize you hit rock bottom, bro?
Well, when I was using, I was still staying with some family members.
Okay.
And, you know, we all think, like, no matter what, our family is going to love us, no matter what. Well, you know, some of my family members told me that, you know, I couldn't be around. And I had to make that choice, whether I wanted to be around my family or, you know, it was the streets. And I was so gone, I chose the streets. And that's when I knew I hit rock bottom, see.
So you were in the streets, like living in the streets?
Literally. Abandoned houses, breaking into the abandoned houses, just doing anything I can to survive.
So you were breaking in just for a place to sleep, just a place for shelter.
My head, a place for shelter, and also a place to do my drugs. You know, because no one's gonna let you. You know, I mean, nobody's dumb. You knocking at people's door. Oh, can I use the bathroom? I'll be quick. You know, after a while, people's gonna catch on.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm well known. Everybody knows me.
Everybody know who you are.
Everybody knows what I'm doing. So you put two and two together. Justin, get out my bathroom.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Matter of fact, Justin, I can't even let you come in
because I know what's going on.
what time it is.
Do you remember, like, you know, hanging out in front of the stores and stuff like that, and people like telling you need, you know,
Hurt.
like people, you know, I hate to see you like this. You remember that?
Absolutely. I still think about it, and how I hurt certain people, and certain people couldn't believe it because years before, you know, I stay clean cut. You know what I mean? I keep my waves.
Yeah.
You know, and people were just hurt, and you know, they were still enabling me also because I was standing in front of the store. Can I have $1? Can I have a couple dollars? And you know, I'm thinking, oh well, I'm so active in addiction, and not really even caring, thinking like, oh, they think I'm just hungry, or they think I'm just, you know, just need help. They don't know I'm using drugs. When in all naturality, I look pitiful, you know, and they did know. But some people still enabled me, you know, and I would just take the money and go do whatever it is that I had needed to do. So I still think about that every day, and how I hurt certain people. And then again, the same people see me today, and they're very happy that I made the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better story, bro, than you know, rock bottom and getting back up, to me. And hopefully people don't have to experience rock bottom. I'm not just saying go seek out rock bottom, but
Right.
to get up off the ground, there's no better story. And that's why I was super, super, super excited about having you on, because you provide a unique perspective that most people don't have the courage to sit up here and talk about, bro.
Right. Absolutely. And believe it hurt me just as bad, because I was still aware whether I was in active addiction or not. I was still aware of what I was doing, and I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. See, you know, it was bad. And I had one day I had just woke up, and I was real sick, needing to get my fix, and you know, I thought I'd go, you know, find my fix. And that morning, the best blessing in the world happened to me.
Which was?
I wake up sick, needing to get my fix, and I go to my people's house to try to get my fix. I have no cash, I'm going to go beg, and a couple friends of mine, which I wasn't even looking at it like they were my friends, but they really were, and God sent them to me, and they locked me in the house. See, and I was in bad shape. I was injecting in my leg. I was hobbling around up on the hill, just hobbling around, you know, legs swollen, just in bad shape. And see, that I didn't get anything, but the best thing happened to me is they locked me in the house and called the ambulance because of my leg. I had an infection in my leg from injecting heroin.
They looked out for you.
They looked at the biggest blessing ever.
You want to share their names?
Yes. Shout out to JC, Pruitt, and Beans. I appreciate y'all.
That's powerful, bro. So you came just normal day, routine, looking to get high.
Yeah.
They seen you was in bad shape. They said, I'm not letting you leave this house.
Yeah.
Called the ambulance.
Yeah. And I appreciate them till this day. Every time I see them, I show them love, you know, ask them they good. Anything I could do to help, I'm here.
That's love, bro. The ambulance, you went to Pittsburgh, right?
I went to Trinity.
Okay.
They couldn't do nothing with me. My leg was so messed up. I ended up getting life flighted to Pittsburgh Medical Center, and immediate surgery. And they got the infection out of my leg. I had about 2 or 3 surgeries. I stayed up there for, I say, about a week. They knew I was an addict.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me the medication that I needed to keep me stable and everything like that. So, but one day when I was in the hospital, see, I was coming out of surgery. You know, I don't know if you ever had surgery or anybody out there ever had surgery, but when you come out of surgery, you kind of don't know what's going on. You
In the
kinda,
recovery, right.
You still recovering, trying to get your mental back together and everything. And they had took me back to my room, see, and I had woke up, and a lady was on the side of my bed. Obviously, she worked with the hospital, and she was like, "I'm here. I know you're an addict. I'm here to help you. Is there anything I can do for you? Where you from? Is there any programs I can get you into?" And she also helped me that way because I just had it in my mind. When I get out this hospital, I'm going back to the streets.
That was in your mind.
That was in my mind after going through all of that.
So you land in the bed, you said lady on the side of you. In your mind, and this is wild to me, and this is after what, 7 days, something like that, a week?
Oh, yeah, about 5 days.
You can't wait to get out and go back to the streets.
I can't wait to get out and go back to the streets. And to be honest with you, see, that's what I did. I got medicated. I healed up, and I got out the hospital. I got a ride back home from them. I got a ride back home, see, and well, I tried to go back to the streets. I left that hospital on crutches, see. So, in a hospital gown, and with the clothes I came with, which was just some shorts and a t-shirt that was all messed up,
right?
Because I was staying in abandoned houses. I was filthy dirty, see, and I came back out there, and I'm on crutches, looking, crazy, and I'm steady trying to use for a day or two. I tried to use, I couldn't. Meaning that I couldn't move around, and even where I was going to go cop from was so close. Yeah, I had made it over there and gotten back to where I needed to get to, but after I got my stuff together, I still couldn't use because like I couldn't hit my vein from inject. I was still injecting, being hard-headed, after everything I just been through, surgery, everything, and I just couldn't use, So day go by, I woke up. I just, when I woke up, I'm like, it's over with. Like, I can't use. I'm on crutches. I can't move around. It's really over with. Like, it took a little bit to come to fathom that it's just over with. So I caught the bus. I went down to my mom's house. Mom went home. Eventually, Mom came home. Of course, she let me in. She didn't know she didn't know nothing was going on.
Oh, she didn't know you were in a hospital or anything like that?
Nothing. I didn't reach out, nothing like that. So I told her everything that happened. Of course, she knew I was,
right.
She would come check on me, every so often. She would see me standing in front of the store or whatnot, and just making sure I'm okay, all that good stuff. Of course, I'm not okay, but, just checking on me. And so I told my mom, I'm done. Can I please stay? And she let me stay, see, and get myself together.
Which is dope because we talked about it a couple minutes ago. It could have been, you can't stay here, Justen, mom or not. And she
showing that tough love.
Right, exactly. And that tough love could have pushed you right back out there. Right, and by her embracing you and trusting in you, you sit across from me today. I do want to ask, it sounded like the leg was like real bad shape. Did they ever say like, all right, if you didn't come, you would have died?
I would have lost your leg and possibly died. And see, I was so messed up in addiction. When they told me that at Trinity, that's exactly what they said. And when they told me that at Trinity, and they gave me, it's not like they could have made me like, oh, you're going to get Life Flight. Like, we're making you go. No, they gave me that option. And I actually sat there and thought about it. See, like, I was like so gone in my addiction. I don't even care.
I don't need this leg. Like, I'm about to go get high.
That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go get buzzed up.
It's crazy.
And I actually was like, you know what? Like, this is crazy. Like, I gotta go get my leg taken care of. Like, who would I be to just go back out there? And that's that was the turning point, really. You know what I mean? And just making the right decisions. See,
Yeah.
starting to make the right decisions. Just with that.
Did you think you was gonna die? Aside from the leg, bro, just from using. Like, did you think you was gonna die?
Absolutely, and that's why I had just given up. Like, this is gonna be my life. This is what I'm gonna do. I come to terms with it. Like, this is what's gonna take me out, and I'm okay with it.
That's crazy.
I just had completely given up, because I had support, but I didn't want the support. See, and the support was from my family.
Yeah.
But I didn't want the support. They had to show me tough love because, when you're in full-blown addiction, you think of where can I get my next high? What could I take? What could I steal? And my people just couldn't have that around, because I was capable of doing anything.
Yeah.
And not only my people, the people that had called me their friend and the people that I knew. And I was reaching out to them, seeing if they would enable me. They knew what time it was. They knew what I was on. So, like, all my options was just over with. So I had just given up. I just thought that was just going to be
That was your fate. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so glad, man, that
Me too.
that we sitting here having this conversation.
Me too.
I'm so glad, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Just know, and you had reached out to me about something, and you said, see, don't forget me. I was at work. I told you I'd call you when I get off.
Right.
And I told you, I said, do I ever?
Nope.
And you said no.
Never.
And I just want you to know that, bro. This ain't, this, but I'm not putting on for the podcast or for the camera. Like, you call, I'm answering, bro.
I already know.
For sure.
That's why I call.
It's another a chance encounter we had. We just put it out there.
Yeah.
I pulled up at Speedway, and I was on the phone. I was on the phone with Speed. You wasn't you. I could tell you was. I can tell you wasn't. Something was weighing you down by the way you greeted me.
Right.
Like, what up, C? I'm like, bro, let me hit you back.
Facts.
Exactly how it happened.
Facts.
And you was having issues with your car.
Right.
And you was feeling a little down. And, you just, man, I can't get ahead. I ain't really got nobody to help me. That was the conversation. And I told you, what'd I tell you, bro?
It's going to happen at the right time. Just stay the course, Just. It's going to happen at the right time. And see, it did. And as soon as it happened, see, you was the first call.
You called, and I heard it in your voice.
You was the first call.
See, you was right. You was right. Bro, I almost cried. I swear.
Me too.
Yeah, I called Speed, like, man, and I told my wife too, but that feeling, like, the positivity, I seen you was down, and I believed it, and I told you that. I said, Worrels, I'm not just telling you this.
Right.
I'm telling you because I know, was my exact words, it's going to work out for you, bro.
And it did, see.
You come too far for anything not to work out for you. Like, for sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I needed that, see.
Yeah. And I'm here for that, bro. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to throw that in there because I think that's important in establishing the relationship that you and I have.
For sure.
Like I said, a lot of people don't know, but it's real actually. You bro.
For sure.
So
Likewise.
I appreciate it. So you stand with your mom, you're getting yourself together. NA. Did you go to NA? Like,
okay,
rehab?
So after healing up, getting off crutches, I was in bad shape. So I healed up. I had called while I was healing up, while I was at Pittsburgh, the woman that I told you that was on my side after surgery, she had set me up at the recovery center downtown on the Baltimore University. And I had an appointment. Still making the wrong decisions, but I knew I had an appointment. So I knew that's what I had to do.
Okay.
And that was the thing to do, was to go get myself right. So I healed up, got myself right, went to my appointment. After going, so I started IOP classes, NA classes once a week at the recovery center. And they had got me into a sober house. sponsored through them. So it didn't take long. It probably, because they know I was in need, I explained my situation and told them what was going on. And it probably took a couple weeks, and they got me to the sober house.
Was it or is it hard? Because right now, you know, it's an extremely comfortable conversation that you're having that's going to reach a lot of people. But at the beginning, was it hard to talk about your struggles with strangers?
Very hard.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to speak at all.
Mm-hmm.
To the fact, I mean, I'm going to NA meetings, you know why I'm here. And that was it.
What I got to talk for, y'all know why I'm here.
Y'all know why I'm here. Like, and that's the attitude I had, when in all reality, what talking was the best thing that could have happened. You know, it got a lot off my chest that I needed to get off my chest, and them demons I had and everything. Like, I got all that off my chest, and it felt amazing. And everyone that I've been to since, I'm the first one talking.
Yeah. You still go to meetings?
Lately, I haven't been because of my work schedule.
Okay.
But when I get time, I do go to meetings. See,
Bros, I don't want to spend the whole episode just talking about addiction, because there's so much more to you now. And I want to get into all of that. Courage, bro. It takes courage to you just described like a gruesome scene, you know, but you describe reality or what people are literally dealing with every day. Before we move on, I want you to talk to just the people that are pill addiction, and just, let them know, man, just if we can just reach one, like just some advice for them.
To all y'all out there that's, partying, having fun, doing perks, all that stuff, I'm telling you, take it from me. It's not the way to go. As soon as you don't have them perks, it's over with. If you in the street, you'll be hitting that bag here soon. It'll be over for you. And I'd rather you just say no. It ain't worth it. Have some honest fun. I ain't perfect by no means. But one thing for sure, I'm cool on that. I done been there. Take it from me. Stay away from that, man.
That's love, bro. I again, man, this is powerful, and I appreciate you being vulnerable.
No problem.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm a part of the journey now, man. So Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. So I do want to talk about, you just described 10 years of abuse, 2 years clean. That's 12 years total. But you have 16-year-old son?
Yes. Brett Worrels, 16 years old. Yep.
I know Brett's doing big things. Shout out to Brett.
Shout out to Brett. I love you, son.
Your relationship with Brett, how you guys now?
Better. I'm learning on the fly, see.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of time. But I'm willing to learn. He's still learning just as well as I am. And see, we just learning on the fly. We got respect for each other. He's happy I'm back around. Anything I can do to help see, I'm there for him.
What's he mean to you, Worrels?
Everything. All my kids. They mean everything to me. I grew up without a father, so they mean everything to me,
Right.
See? I'm breaking generational curses.
I see your son doing big things. I seen the 8th grade highlights.
Yep.
Running track this year, right?
First year.
How you doing there?
He's doing great. So this is his first year again. He runs the 100-meter dash and long jump. So his times in the 100 were 11.38, I believe. One meet, 11.8, and that 11.8, he's third in Edison's all-time school record, just as a freshman. I forget what the top time is. Don't quote me, but I know he's third. I just checked it earlier today.
That's dope as a freshman.
As a freshman. So he's doing great. He's doing great.
And 8th grade at Creek, he went crazy, right?
He had 33 touchdowns. I believe he broke Trevor Cooper's
Trevor
record.
Cooper, yeah.
Trevor Cooper's record out Indian Creek. Yup. He was going crazy. Shout out to you, son.
You looking forward to being in the stands?
I
And
can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. See, that's when I had him, I already knew what it was going to be because just how I grew up without my father, see, and how I was thinking about me being around, and his grandfather was a running back out Edison and had a big name out there.
Okay.
And already knew it was in his blood. I played a little ball. My family got a little bit of hoops and a little ball in their bloodline, and I knew what it was going to be, and I couldn't wait. And that's all I used to talk about was playing football all the time when he was younger. And I just couldn't wait, and I knew I'd be here. I knew I'd be here for it. But there was a time I didn't know. But
And you're an example of every day you wake up, it's another chance. Because to me, it's perfect timing. This is the phase of his life where he needs you the most. And you're your best self, able to provide what he needs. So, they say the Lord works in mysterious ways.
He
and
sure does.
Your whole story is an example and a testament to that. But
Thank you.
In particular to, your relationship and mending those, fences with your son and being what he needs right now.
Yep, absolutely.
You got twins as well, correct?
3 months old.
Boys, girl? Okay.
Fraternal twins, boys.
Okay.
Shout out to Jordan and Justen Jr. I love y'all.
We talk about legacy and, Legacy Lounge, but what we also say is like, this is an audio time capsule. So right now, the twins, they're not going to watch it right now and understand, but 5 years, Brett playing D1 football, twins in kindergarten, first grade or whatever, and you could play this for them.
Oh, I'm definitely playing.
Yeah, and then we can see where you went from there, to where you're going to be at there.
Absolutely.
And that's another dope part about doing this. Yeah, we talked about your twins, talked about Brett. When you introduce yourself as a fiance.
Yes.
So we got to talk about your fiance.
Yes. Christian, I love you. Shout out to you. Keep holding the house down. Keep doing the wonderful job you doing with the kids. I love you. You mean everything to me.
How long you known Christian?
2 years.
Did you know her prior to sobriety or?
I met her during sobriety.
Okay.
Yep. I met her during sobriety. And she's one of the best things that ever happened to me as well. And she keeps me straight. She keeps my head on straight, making sure I'm doing the right things, just keeping me aligned for the most part.
And again, going back to it, but the blessings that sobriety has brought you. No, in 10 minutes, bro, we've talked about your 16-year-old son, we've talked about your twins, and we talked about you being engaged. And all of this, is a product
of my sobriety.
You beating the struggle.
See, I'm getting blessing after blessing after blessing, and sometimes I sit back, see, and think like, what did I do to deserve all this? But I realized I made the right decisions.
Yeah.
And it was bound to happen. All I got to do is just keep my head on straight and keep working hard.
They say sometimes, and I'm not spiritual or religious, I do want to lead with that, but they say sometimes God uses you, and I think your position, you're just going to be able to help people, bro. It's different hearing it from a 36-year-old young man who was just in the streets
2 years ago,
as opposed to hearing it from a 60-year-old man who's been clean 35 years. And no knock on that individual, but to reach the youth, it's going to hit harder coming from you.
Absolutely. I was just in it.
Yeah.
I was just in it. See, like when I'm out and about at the store, somebody might see me before and, oh, Justen, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep up the good work. Mostly everybody just looks at me in awe and was like, and I'm sure they're thinking, we just seen him in front of the store begging, looking crazy just 2 years ago.
Look at him now. Look at him now.
And it still trips me out, but I'm grateful. See,
When we were asking about, potential guests we should have, you was already solidified, but people didn't know that. And they're like, your name came up a few times
okay,
because of your story.
okay,
And again, there's a story, and then there's having the wherewithal and the courage and the self-awareness to sit down here and tell it. And to me, I feel like that's because like it's like you're calling, you're obligated to do so because you can save lives with words, bro.
and that's what I want to do. See, just like you said earlier, that one person. If we could just reach that one person, that's it.
So are you interested in prevention, like talking to kids?
For sure.
Is like that's something you want to do? And it doesn't have to be kids, bro. Adults, just talking to people in general?
Yeah, kids, adults, middle age, whoever. Cause I got a story to tell, see? I done been through it, and I'm not too far removed from it. So, the young kids can feel me, the older people can feel me, and that's just that.
Have you addressed any like groups of people or anything like that?
I haven't. See, it's not about not addressing them. I'm just trying to figure out how to go about it.
Yeah.
Because I like to, not saying that I don't need any help, but I like to come up with a plan before I go about things. And I just don't think I'm there yet. But when I get there,
there's probably, there's people you could reach out to for help with that.
For sure.
We talked about Jaquan.
I would love to reach out to him.
Yeah, and I know I could facilitate that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Come see me, Jaquan. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, I think you got something to add. And yeah, we'll definitely facilitate
Thank
that.
you.
It's the Legacy Lounge, just joining people together. Yeah, but I want to also go into, I know you work in a couple jobs, holding down the house, holding down the twins, but you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yes, sir. Hidden gems sweatsuits. I just came up with an idea. I woke up one day, and was like, you know what? When I was younger, I did some entrepreneurial things, so I always knew, that's kind of what I wanted to do. And I woke up one day, and was like, you know what? I like to dress. I like to wear clothes. How about some jogging suits? And just something simple, starting with something small, nothing too crazy. And so I started putting my feet to the ground and trying to figure it out. And I reached out to a few people. I got some feedback. It wasn't what I expected, though. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take matters into my own hands. See, I got on Instagram. I found me a wholesaler, and just went from there. Built a relationship and a rapport with them overseas, and we talk some numbers, and after that, we put things in motion, and it was just that simple.
Last winter was your first year?
Last winter was my first year.
How'd it go?
You know what? See, to be honest with you, building up to it, I was told like by people who was supporting me, like, oh yeah, we'll buy. And of course, not that everybody didn't stick to their word, but I know how things are. I know things come up, ain't no one perfect, whatever. That's fine. But some people did stick to their word.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Corey Hood, shout out to Gleesh, shout out to a couple others. If I forgot you, shout out to Bubba. Shout out to Dougie. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. But best believe, I love you and thank you for supporting me. But I took a L, and I wouldn't say it was a loss. It was a lesson. Okay? So now, I know this is, okay, get your clientele together. After you get your clientele together, then whatever you need to do, you can handle what you need to do. But get your name out there first and make sure you gain some traction first.
Yeah, I mean, those are sometimes there's necessary L's.
That was necessary.
Yeah, sometimes it's necessary. The thing with you though, bro, that ain't nothing. Compared to what you've been through, literally nothing. Like you can get up and you can try that again.
You know what separates us, let's say regular people from the millionaires? See, it's that leap of faith that I took. Like, okay, I'm gonna start this clothing line and I'm gonna put it into motion. That's the only thing that separates us. See, is that leap of faith.
That's a fact, bro. It's a fact, and you'll notice if you watch. And I know you have, but if everybody else watch every episode, I would say 5 out of 6 leap of faith comes up.
That's it.
And maybe even every single one, the term leap of faith has come up. And if it wasn't for leap of faith, me and you wouldn't be right here talking on this platform, because that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say did, because we ain't, we're still in the process.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
We're leaping. We took a leap of faith, but we're still leaping in that same faith. But you're right, bro. That's
it.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Is acting on your thoughts. You thought about it, you put a plan in motion.
That's it.
And it's gonna work out.
Thank you.
Again, I'm telling you, it's gonna work out.
I'll be back next winter. So when it start getting cold, be looking for me. You can find me on Instagram at Hitting Gems. You can find me on Facebook at Hitting Gems. Keep your eye out.
And we'll run this back in the winter. So yeah, we're gonna make sure we're gonna turn you up, and you turn us up it's only right. All right, so you know what? We're not gonna wait till the winter. I know you got some gear. I want you to show your gear. I also want you to talk about the name Hidden Gem, what it means to you, and why we should support it.
Okay. This is my sweatsuit line, Hitting Gems. It means everything to me. I was a diamond in the rough. Nobody believed in me. I didn't look the greatest, but I had potential. And this is what this means to all the people that has potential that nobody's seeing. We all are diamonds in the rough. So represent Hitting Gems. This is for the people. This is for us. This is for those diamonds in the rough. This is for everybody. Represent.
And you know what, bro? I didn't know what, Hidden Gems meant, but diamonds in the rough, to me, that's Steubenville.
That's it.
That describes Steubenville. You know how many hidden gems are in Steubenville?
Everywhere.
How many diamonds that are rough are in Steubenville that just don't get the exposure and, just fall into that vicious cycle that you can in Steubenville? So that's dope. On top of, it's very fresh.
Thank you.
It's very fresh. When y'all get a look at it, it's very fresh.
And it'll keep you warm. It's nice material. It's nice and thick too for when it gets cold outside. So make sure y'all turn me up, man. Hitting Gems on Instagram and Facebook.
For sure. And we're going to rerun it in the winter because that's when they'll need it most.
Absolutely.
Actually, we'll just bring you back on. How about that?
That's perfect.
You got the open door invite. But it's very fresh. And the name and the concept behind the name is dope.
Thank you,
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Thank you,
It not only represents you, to me, it represents the city.
Thank you.
And we got to support each other
all day. And I don't know why. See, man, we don't, us as our people, we don't support each other. I'll say enough.
We don't. It's
that's a whole nother story.
It is. It's a sore subject, and it's something that has to be talked about, but I don't know what the reasoning is. And like I said, crabs in the bucket before, and I think that might even be extreme, because I don't want to fight negativity with negativity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I just try myself on being a positive person. Sometimes it's this. We need a platform like this to get awareness out. Let's just say that. Sometimes people just don't know. That's why I try to do the festival, so we can introduce small business owners to each other. And I don't want to focus on the problem, bro. I want to focus on the solution.
Me too.
So if this can be a platform to empower and enable us to start supporting us,
Okay.
then let's go. Let's rock.
go.
You know what I mean?
go.
So that's what we'll do.
Okay.
We're going to focus on the solution.
Let's do it.
Bring positivity to the situation.
Okay.
And everybody going to get rich.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Make sure y'all support Hidden Gems though, and support Worrels, the man. You know, the father, the friend. What a dope brand. You know, with quality clothing. So at the beginning, bro, when we were talking about, going into the drug use and everything, we mentioned Bubba. Bubba was your brother. Y'all first cousins?
First cousins.
Okay. Same age?
His birthday is April Fool's Day, and mine is July 3rd, so a couple months older than me. Yep.
Born the same year.
Same year. Yep.
So brothers. All through.
All day long. He dressed, his mom dressed him up in something. My mom dressed me up the same way. You know what I mean? Yeah, brothers.
When you seen one, you seen the other.
All day long.
Big loss, bro.
Big loss.
For the community.
For sure.
Huge loss for the community.
For sure.
I seen the toll it took on the family. You know, you specifically.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it to this day?
Well, when it first happened, I was in active addiction. I was just doing anything I can. I was using. It was all a blur, I remember when he, was in the hospital and everything was happening. But after that, it was just all a blur. And how I'm dealing with it today, I'm just knowing that there's a better place, there's a better place.
Did he know what you were going through?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah. And he stayed in contact with me, but he also knew, that I was a little too far gone.
It was far gone.
Yeah. But I could tell it hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell it hurt him for sure.
How could it not, right?
Right.
But one thing for sure, he definitely proud of you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Most certainly. Till this day, I think about him every day.
I bet.
Oh, yeah. I miss him like crazy,
But you representing him, bro.
All day long.
You are.
To the fullest. And me and him, we used to bicker back and forth all the time. It was that brotherly love.
Yeah, for sure.
We used to bicker all the time, but at the end of the day, I knew he loved me and he knew I loved him.
And knowing it is half the battle.
Yeah.
And every day you wake up is a chance. So, living through him, living for him, as well as everybody else.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Representing him and just keeping his name alive.
Yes, sir.
But R.I.P.
R.I.P. Bubba. We miss you.
Yeah, for sure. They all hurt, but for different reasons. But
yeah,
that wasn't for him.
Not at all.
Yeah. I want to get into some regular conversation.
Okay.
Because I know you and I we would talk.
Okay.
We talk hip hop.
Right.
On Facebook a little bit.
Okay.
And we a little bit of sports talk.
Okay.
So I like to call it, it's usually barbershop talk. I like to call it podcast talk. I like to engage in that a little bit. And we definitely had some good conversations about hip hop, so I want to get into that. But before that, bro, I just want to sum up. Not everything we talked about, but just you. What are you working on? What you overcame, and what's the future looking like for Worrels? What do you want to do?
I'm working on, like I said, Hidden Gems. I'm working on being a better father. I'm working on being a better fiance. I'm not perfect, but I'm a trying man, and a trying man is dangerous. The future, the sky's not the limit.
It's just a view.
It's just a view. I'm open to anything as long as it makes sense. And that's pretty much it. I got a message again. Young people, whoever, stay out the streets. After high school, I had glamorized the streets. The streets was looking good. I had all the aspirations of being the biggest hustler in the world. I jumped out there, not knowing anything. I had no guidance, no nothing. And I found myself just scratching and clawing for the most part. Made a couple bucks, you know. Did whatever I needed to do, but at the end result, the streets don't love you.
What drew you to the streets, bro?
The glamorous life,
Yeah.
the cars,
Yeah.
the shoes,
Yes.
the clothes,
Yes.
the women,
Yep.
jewelry, just like anybody else.
Anybody else?
And I just had to have it. And I gave my shot to it, and that's one of the worst mistakes I ever made. Young kids go to school, make something out of yourself, give yourself a chance. There's nothing wrong with being lawyers, doctors, firemen, and things like that. Just give yourself a chance.
I'm going to challenge you on something.
Okay.
You said it was a mistake. I don't think it was a mistake.
What's that?
I think it was a lesson. You being in the streets. You can't give advice to nobody if you ain't never did it. Like, how you going to tell people to stay out the streets if you ain't never been in the streets and seen what the streets offer and seen the bad side of the streets?
True.
I hate that you had to go through what you went through. I hate that.
Right.
But, you came out smelling like roses.
I know.
Yeah. And full transparency, I dabbled in the streets. And that's why when you were saying we drew you the yes, bro, we want the money, especially at a young age, but we want the fast money. The streets don't love you.
And see, let me tell you this. So as I got older, I realized there ain't nothing wrong with working. Once I got myself together and got cleaned up, there's nothing wrong. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. You can still have that stuff. You got to grind harder for
That's it.
That's it.
Step your hustle up.
That's it.
People have different definitions of gangster or real. Gangster is cleaning yourself up for the sake of your 3 kids. Gangster is cleaning yourself up for the sake of your mother. Real is working 2 jobs to take care of your family and kicking game to prevent the youth from making the same mistakes you did. That's real. Real is sitting right here across from me and telling a story with no limitations, no cap, I guess, what you could say.
Right.
You was fully transparent. You know what I mean? You didn't hold back at all. That's real. It don't get no realer than that, bro. And don't let nobody tell you what's real. Real is what's in your heart. You know what I mean? Real ain't shoot 'em up, bang, bang.
Not
Real ain't go to jail for and leave your kids. That's lame. Realizing the error of your ways and correcting yourself for the betterment of not only you, but for your family, that's gangster. That's real. That needs to be commended, and that's what people gonna remember.
Thank you.
They ain't gonna remember the Worrels that was in front of Maryland Market.
Right.
They gonna remember the Worrels that was on the Legacy Lounge right now shining.
That's a blessing. Thank you for the opportunity.
For sure. And that's a part of your story, bro.
Fact.
And that's what I want people to remember.
Me too.
And if this can make that happen right now, my man. So we're gonna go into a little bit of just, we're gonna go a little bit of podcast talk.
Okay.
Refresh my memory, bro, because I really don't remember. Oh, I do remember. Body in the Trunk is how we start talking. Nori and Nas.
Yeah.
That's when we start talking. And you said Nori held you. I forget how you said it, but we were talking about how Nori held his own on that song.
Right. I said, I didn't know that he was on the same level, basically, of storytelling and holding his own.
Yeah, that's where we went. And I'm people would tell you I'm honorary Queensbridge. I ain't never been to Queensbridge in my life, but I'm feel like I'm from the 41st side of Vernon. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Right.
But my hip hop, I'm Queensbridge. Those are my guys.
I feel that way about certain things too, see?
Yeah, so who your favorite, bro?
Jay is my favorite.
Okay,
because like you say in previous episodes, knowledge, the will to know how, game, that's where you go.
That's entendres with the game included, consistency. Yeah.
I mean, where else? I mean, it's undeniable. See,
I agree. I mean, you know, if you watch the show, y'all know I'm a stan of Hove. I'm not afraid to admit it. And but also, Nas is my favorite.
okay,
Nas is my introduction to hip hop.
okay,
Nas made me realize I can rap.
all right.
I just think Hove is the greatest.
He is.
But Nas is still my favorite, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel the same way. See,
So you're a Nas fan too?
absolutely.
Okay.
I like that '90s boom bap. See,
Yeah.
that's what we was raised on.
Yeah, for sure. And it was the crazy thing, bro, about hip hop now. And I don't want to sound like Unc. I am Unc, but I don't.
Me too.
I like this. I like this genre of music. I
like
do
certain-
like it. Yeah,
I like
some certain of it. In our era, they was hustlers. They talked about selling drugs. This era is what?
Getting high
They talk about doing drugs.
backwards.
It's Percocets, Molly Percocet.
And their influence is to these kids, young adults. I mean, when you hearing that all day, just like people tell you, once you can speak things into existence. So you hearing the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, come on.
And let's keep it G. Music is very influential.
Very.
Our era encouraged us to go hustle. And it ain't right. One's not better than the other. Hustling ain't better than using.
But that's why I wanted to hustle as well.
Yeah, because the music sent us to the streets, which probably sent people to jail, which probably got people
A whole cycle.
It got people killed. Now it's just influencing people that using drugs is okay, like it influenced us, like selling drugs is okay, which it wasn't.
Right.
So one's not better than the other, but
No.
that's the reality right now. Is
Yeah.
music is drug
out of
and
control.
heavy drug influential.
Yeah, it's out of control. Young kids, find you some good '90s music to listen to.
You listen to some, like they don't even got R&B no more, bro. Like the R&B dudes are like thugs.
Yeah, Chris
they
Brown.
don't even sing to there ain't no boy groups, like there ain't like
Nothing.
like Jagged Edge 112 that make like
smooth.
love ballads. There ain't no smooth. It's just
Nothing.
all
Turn up, get high. Thank goodness we was raised in a good era.
Yeah, for sure.
The golden era.
It was I think it was the golden era too, and I love this era. You know, like our kids are coming up in this era, and I don't ever want to seem like a hater or anything like that.
Not
But
at all.
it's different. And the old people were saying the same thing to us when we was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they was talking about our music too.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that's just the reality of it. But who you listening to now?
You know what? I'm still listening to Prodigy, Mobb Deep, Jay, Nas, Nori.
All my guys, bro. Literally everybody you mentioned, like that's all my guys.
Who else? Who was I just listening? You know what? I am listening to that's new though. See, and I don't know how you feel about it. His name is Boss Man D-Lo. And for the simple fact is, he's saying he's not drinking lean. It's like, it's not the old stuff that we grew up on, but it's kind of something like that if you listen to what he's saying as far as like hustle music. You know, I mean, we both know we can't go out in the street and hustle, but I mean, as far as our field, it's kind of sort of there, but just like some more up to speed beats.
I know he got a wave. I haven't jumped on yet, but
just I ain't telling you like
I'll check it out.
That's just check it out.
I'm a
when you get
music guy,
chance.
bro. So, you know, I listen to anything if it catch my ear. Like right now, I'm a Gunna fan.
I heard his new album.
His new
I like
album
it.
is fire.
I like
it.
it.
Just flows.
Yep.
He makes good music.
Yeah.
Like I'm cutting the grass like
Yeah. I like it
the
too,
whole
see?
time listening to the Gunna.
I like it
I don't
too.
know if you ever heard of Mozzie.
Yeah, Mozzie.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mozzie hard
Mozzie.
from Sacramento.
Yep.
I
like Mozzie.
Yeah, Mozzie
like
is hard.
Mozzie.
I like Mozzie a lot. I like Mozzie a whole lot.
Yep.
I sprinkle in the old and the new.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like I feel obligated to know what's going on, but
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
I gotta know what's going on.
I still go back to, you know what I mean.
That's my mainstay.
Yeah.
The '90s. That's the mainstay.
Same. It raised me,
Yeah.
and you know that was like I said. I realized I can rap by listening to Nas and AZ.
I dabbled a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, I dabbled a little bit. Here
Did you
and there.
dabble, Worrels?
Yeah, I had a song with BG.
Worrels.
I had a couple songs.
No, Worrels, you're being modest. You was hard.
Yeah.
You was with Brandon Settis. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did some
No,
music
you was
years ago.
nice. Yeah.
Right.
I remember y'all was out in
Thank you,
Wintersville.
Yep.
Y'all was doing the thing. Ain't that his name, right? Brandon?
Brendan said it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Brendan. Yeah.
Yep.
He was the
a little
engineer. He was
engineer.
mixing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember the track you did with BG. Bro, that's wow. I forgot.
Yeah, I dabbled a little bit.
No, yeah, quit saying that. You was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I forgot.
Yeah.
Because when I heard it, this was, correct me if I'm wrong, this 2010, 11?
Not between 8 and 11.
Okay, 8 and
Around
11.
there.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, because that's when I had did something with Ray Loke.
The whole Steubenville was like our age, my age group, maybe a few cats, and some of your age group. We was kind of like doing things.
Yeah.
You know, we was reaching out to one another, doing a few things.
Yeah, I do. That's crazy. I do remember now,
Yeah.
and I would have never remembered. But yeah, and that's how I met. BG ended up getting up with Brendan and doing some things, and on the we talking about the music. So BG, BG, you know BG better than
North
most.
End.
Yeah, that's BG North End. We were taking music serious, but I was taking music serious because of BG. We might have did something if he didn't catch his case. Like we might have did something because we had a following, we had a wave, and yeah, we was for people who don't know.
Yeah, BG was nice.
Yeah, BG.
You nice.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna give him something soon, Worrels.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him
I'm
something
waiting.
soon. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
waiting.
I'm gonna give him something soon.
No problem.
So what I've been doing is I would drop, I'm not songs, I'm really just playing around, but bars
I'm watching.
every 4 years. So what I was doing is I was doing it every year the Olympics was.
Okay.
So it was 16, it was 20, and then it's 24.
Okay.
People know that. And
Yeah.
they've been saying like, bro, this is a leap year and Olympic year, the same thing. They're like, bro,
Okay.
this is
I seen the COVID bars.
the quarantine bars. Yeah.
Quarantine bars.
Yeah. So this is 4 years later.
Okay.
I did say that then that I wasn't going to do it no more.
All right.
All right, this is an exclusive. You getting the exclusive, Worrels.
Okay.
But by the end of summer, I'm going to say by the end of summer,
All right.
by the end of summer, I got something for y'all. Stay tuned. It's going to be exclusive on the Legacy Lounge.
I'm waiting.
I got something for y'all. This is an announcement because I told them I wasn't doing it no more.
Okay.
I got one more in me. I got one more. Even my kids be asking me like, Dad,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. I got one more in me, Worrels. One more,
Nice.
at least one more spin. I appreciate it, bro.
Nice.
I do what I can.
Yes, sir.
That's my guys always push me.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned BG, but
You got a good group around you.
I do.
For sure.
I do, man. It's
A lot
what
of
we
support.
what we have is rare.
It is.
It's and I'm aware of that, and they're aware of that, and to this day, man, they're the reason why I'm sitting here.
Yeah, y'all
Just
friendship
pushing me.
is admirable, man, for sure.
I appreciate that, bro.
No problem.
And we all do. I see the impact now, when people see us out and they still call us the Grimies or whatever. But
I've been watching from afar, see, for years, man. And now that I got my head on straight, it's admirable. I try to round some of the way I am around, your great father. Some of your friends are great fathers. I admire that. I try to round minds the same way.
that's love, bro. And you never know who's watching.
Exactly.
You never know who's watching. And
Exactly.
you can inspire somebody you might not never know you inspired them. Me and you might not have never had this conversation, and you know what I mean? And I had this conversation with somebody else who told me, I look to you
Right. I'm
to see how to
watching.
do things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, Elder Jet,
Yeah. I'm watching.
yeah.
I'm watching Elder.
Yeah, same thing. So that means a lot, man. That means I struggle to put it into words because I'm still learning how to take compliments.
And that's a task in itself.
It is.
It is.
It is. But it means a lot, man. And I
No
don't
problem.
I don't take it lightheartedly.
Okay.
I take it serious. more serious now with this platform, but I got to be on my game 24/7, bro. I can't
All day
slip.
long.
Yeah,
Right.
because people are counting on me, and
I am.
yeah, and
Thank you for that.
yeah, I appreciate it, bro. But I want you to know, I'm counting on you, bro. You're in the process of writing a bestseller. It's the best story ever told. There's no story like it, bro. And I don't, sometimes you might not realize it because you're the main character. You're the author, you're the illustrator, you're the editor. You know what I mean? You're
Right.
you're the main character in your story.
Right.
Bro, it's a hell of a story.
Thank you.
Big screen, I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Like, man, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And you're only in the beginning, you got a whole book to write.
And I can't wait. Every day, one day at a time, see?
One day at a time.
One day at a time. That's it.
And you got a friend in me. Again, this is way deeper than podcasts. We've been talking before podcasts.
Yeah.
We're going to talk after podcasts. Whatever you need, if I can help, if
I'ma
it's just
reach
the
out.
ear, yeah. And I'm going to answer.
I already know it.
And I'm going to answer.
I already know it. Likewise.
Yeah, and
I'm here.
yeah, I'm watching you, and you a part of this, bro. Like,
Thank you.
like we ain't just saying like number one fan. Like
Right.
you got your number one fan banner, right?
Top fan.
So it's real. Like
Yeah.
legit top
I'm
fan.
with y'all.
Like, and I'm glad that it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
I always believe in everything happens at the right time, and this is perfect timing that we were able to get established and get our followers up because I wanted them to hear you,
Thank you.
and you gave it to it, bro. Like, you gave it to us, unadulterated with no filter,
No cut.
no cut, no cap. And again, we talked about Corey. That's courage, man. It's that take kahunas
Yeah.
to be vulnerable as a man, because we're taught to bottle it in.
Yeah. Don't show no emotion.
Don't show no emotion. And what you just did for this last, however long we've been talking, hour and a half, 2 hours, you laid it all on the line.
Yeah.
It's all gonna come back to you, bro.
I know it.
Tenfold.
I know it.
I don't even know what that means, but it
sound good.
Bro, that's one of them
sound
old
good.
sayings. It's gonna come back tenfold.
Yeah, but
Straight face like this, but it is.
sound good.
It
I know,
is.
I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
Yep.
I know what you mean.
It's all gonna
Full
work out.
circle. Yes, sir.
Somebody beat Worrels for the number one, the number one fan banner.
Hey, if you out there, see if you can beat me, man. I don't know, but if you out there, come for me.
Yeah, we need the love and support. It's not lost on us, the support we've been getting. And from the bottom of my heart, from the pit, I appreciate you guys, but I need you guys, again, like, subscribe, share. Let's do this journey together. It's not just for me. It's for Steubenville. It's our legacy. In particular, I want to close with this. The measure of a man, to me, and I always say to me, because everything is subjective and I'm giving my own opinion, but the measure of a man is not how many times you've been knocked down. It's how many times you get up. And I always say it's never too late to start working on your legacy. We start working on our legacy as soon as we hit the ground. Yeah. And all we're doing is just adding layers to it. But everything we go through is a chapter in our legacy, from everything that happened before us to, what we're leaving behind, in your case, in my case, to our kids. Mm-hmm. Every day you wake up is a chance to be better, is a chance to right your wrong.
And that's what keeps me going.
It's never too late, bro. Your legacy is still being written. My legacy is still being written. At this very moment in time, we intertwine. Mm-hmm. We grow together, bro. We grind together. We shine together.
Grind together, shine together.
My man, Worrels, man, I appreciate you being on, man.
I appreciate you. No problem.